Yes.
Yes.
Hoe lyk dit?
Lekker my bro, lekker met jou.
Goed man. Yes, so dis die eerste keer wat al my settings net werk.
Wat?
Ek sê vir jou, this is alles. Everything is in place. The mic.
Well, it's a flippin' miracle. I'm on here. It looks like it's working.
It's got to be the positive vibes. Namaste.
Yes, pal.
NamasteBae.
Blessings.
Dude, your act is funny. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest. It didn't get me the first time. I was like, I got the message from Anu Carstens and he was like, I need to interview Rob Van Vuuren. I'm like, I look at my wife, I'm like, who on earth is Rob Van Vuuren? She's like, I know who he is. And she started showing me your videos. And I think I was the 3.5 videos in, and I was like, all right, that's pretty funny. Your live performance, that live video of yours.
It grows on you like a fungus, right?
It does. And I feel like, you know, just pause the video for a second. Let me just open a beer and really just get with the vibe, you know, just and then you start speaking about people suffering in South Africa and you're going to be putting your healing on them and everything. And I'm like, word.
That was from the Democracy show we did for Comedy Central.
Oh, right. Yes, that's the video when you were wearing a massive diaper.
Yes, and I'm standing on the seat with this guy's head between my legs.
Yeah. Well, look, so just a short introduction for myself. I'm Steven Phyffer. I'm the founder of Oorsee. Oorsee is a South African community app for all the South African expats out there. And obviously the South Africans still back home looking to maybe move abroad or maybe pay it a visit. It's there for all of them. And I would like you to take as long as you want and introduce yourself.
Stephen, where do I begin? First of all, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Rob Van Vuuren. I'm a comedian, an actor. I've been doing it now for a long time. And I've been lucky enough to create some really memorable characters over the years that are kind of stuck in people's minds. People either love them or hate them. Corné Twakkie from the Most Amazing Show. I was lucky enough to do a iconic Leon Schuster movie where I got to prank him. And currently I've discovered this NamasteBae character by mistake, which has gone completely viral all over the world. It's mad, yeah. So I'm just running with it, bro. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm NamasteBae now.
Well, you sound like a perfectly normal guy. I mean, I was chatting with my partners, and because running Oorsee is not a single man show. It takes a couple of us, and I was like, I'm so scared to interview this guy because he sounds like he's gerook. He's like, and then you message me like, do I need to do this in character or not? I'm like, so that ain't you.
So, yeah, it's hilarious, bro. People think that dude is completely 100% real. The funniest thing is there's a huge argument that rages through so many of the comments on the size of my pupils. So, like, the thing is, like, what drugs is he on? He says he's on LSD, but I think his pupils are too small. He must be on like PCP or something. But there's this raging debate about what drugs I'm on. I even got this. I landed this really amazing gig for a Mexican director shooting this pilot for a TV series in Finland early last year. And they discovered me on Instagram from this NamasteBae character. And this director took it to his producer and said, hey, this is the guy we're looking for that part. And the producer was like, yeah, that's great. But how's this guy ever going to remember his lines? Because he's clearly on drugs.
Oh man, look, I lived in South Africa for a lot of years. We left 9 years ago. So the point of us is that I've met a couple of characters, and I've always thought I was a good judge of characters. So when I saw your show, I'm like, yeah, he's high ass. I mean, he's like way up there. But then I start chatting with you on WhatsApp. I'm like, this guy is actually keeping a straight sentence. I mean, he's fine. Let's interview him. Let's see what it's about. Now,
yeah, people are normally disappointed when they meet me in real life that I'm not as mad as my characters, but it's got to come from somewhere, right? This is the facade.
Look, let's address the honest truth. Your act's probably not for everyone, but I can compare it to someone like Jim Carrey, where he makes himself purposely sound silly, and people love it. I love it. I love Jim Carrey. He's doing something that I will never do. I can never go onto a camera and pull a face and be someone that I'm not. And for that, I've got the utmost respect, because it's entertaining. It's entertainment. That's all it is. And you do it so well. Now, on that note, switch for us. Come on. For 30 seconds.
You want some NamasteBae?
Give me some enlightenment. I need it. Give me enlightenment.
I can't do NamasteBae with his shirt on.
Oh, he's taking his shirt off.
Steven, blessings and kombucha upon your willingness to receive my nipples on your podcast. I wish I could heal you through the screen, but I can see that there's already so much damage that has been done already. So you'll have to wait until I get there in person, where I will cleanse your damaged trauma from within.
I'm blushing.
And I will allow you to allow myself to find yourself inside of myself. Or something like that.
Oh, all right. I'm going to put an age restriction to this video. That is so good. The fact that you can do that and still, not even blush. I mean, that is impressive. Now, tell me a bit now you said it, you sort of stumbled upon this personality. Where did it start? And we need to know the history about it.
Sure. I got to go way back. Basically, towards the end of 2020, end of that lockdown that year, it was a really crazy time. My relationship with my wife, our marriage, kind of came to an end, and we went through this process of kind of trying to save the relationship, save the marriage, and we ended up through the process saving the relationship. But through that process, we did a couple of alternative forms of therapy and counseling, and so we kind of dipped our toes in that world of I suppose alternative wellness and healing, which has become so popular over the world. And obviously, as a comedian, I can't help but kind of observe the space and see what's funny about it. And I found the whole experience to be incredibly helpful. But as a comedian, my mind's always ticking. And then about a year and a half after that, I was just taking a swim. I was promoting my other stand-up show, taking my swim in my favorite swimming spot, the Penguin Cave of Desire. And someone had left a used tampon in this little cave where I would normally change, and it freaked me out so much. I was like, I've got to do a video about this, but I couldn't speak about it in my voice. So this guy came out, and I spoke about this. What is this penguin? Forgot about it, posted it, went for a swim. I came out of the water, and suddenly it got numbers that I'd never ever seen before on social media for myself. And I was like, oh wow, let me do another one. Did another one, and it did the same thing. And then I was like, okay, let me just keep putting these out. And what was amazing is how quickly it spread globally. And what I did, I suppose I didn't take for granted, but which makes sense to me now, is that space is really big globally. It's everywhere in the world right now. So I've got fans, kind of alternative hippie fans in Australia, the US, Bali, India. It's crazy how it just kind of spread everywhere.
Well, I've seen your numbers. I've seen your numbers. It's impressive. Because when I saw the first video, I'm like, who's watching these things?
Who's watching this?
Wait. Let me just watch a bit more. And the more I watch, the more I realize it's an act, and it's funny. It's really funny. So tell me,
it's super layered. I've spent so much time with the character as well that I've developed so much kind of history and mythology around him. So when you see the show, you get a real sense of the whole of this guy's very strange mind. You get way more than what you experience, obviously, online in these like 30-second to a minute and a half clips. It's a full 60-minute show.
Have you ever watched the movie? What is it? Oh man, it's a Disney or Pixar cartoon about this rabbit that wants to be a cop, and a Zootopia. Have you ever watched Zootopia?
Oh yes, yeah.
And there's this camel or something that's in this movie sitting there doing the yoga. And when I saw your character, I was like,
it's me.
That's the guy. He was like sitting there naked, just like doing his thing. And now I thought to myself, that is quite funny. It's a good act. Now, obviously, you said you are getting loads of traction abroad. You got a really good introduction to overseas already. And now we're going to try and shed some more light on that by introducing you to the actual expat Oorsee community.
Man, that's a brief yellow.
What brought you to actually look at the UK per se as your first sort of go-to? You said you've got fans in Australia as well, so I'm assuming at some stage you're going to look at coming over to our end on this side, because I'm in Melbourne, and I can tell you now, I've lived in the UK. Australia is a great place, trust me.
Yeah, dude, I got to come to Australia. I've got to. There's so many fans there. So many people have been asking me to come. So it's definitely on the cards. I'm hoping next year, definitely. I suppose the UK first, because it's just a bit of an easier travel thing initially, and I've got connections there, and there's a really big expat community.
The thing about the UK, it's not just big, it's condensed. So we have no shortage of friends in the UK, and we still chat to them on a weekly basis. People that we've grown to really love like family. I can't talk too much about the UK without actually getting a bit emotional, because I sometimes wish I could take the community that we've got to know there and just put them here in Melbourne, and it'll be perfect. Because we've got the country, we've got the weather, but the people, they're all right.
Right. They'll grow on you.
The South Africans are fine. I'm talking about the Aussies. Yeah,
the Aussies. Look.
But one of my rules are
some things can't be fixed, Steve.
Yeah, well, one of my rules about these interviews is no politics.
No politics.
By the way, who's winning? Who's winning? By the way, what?
I haven't checked since this morning, but I've been.
Let's no politics.
Let's no politics, please, man.
Namaste.
Please. Blessings. Yeah, so UK first. I'm also going to the Edinburgh Festival, so it made sense to do a short run in London before going to Edinburgh. And of course, in Edinburgh, there's lots of opportunities to pick up kind of touring possibilities from there.
There's also lots of beer.
Did a short run in.
There's also lots of beer in Edinburgh. So
exactly, pal.
If you look at what happened to Trevor Noah when he was touring Edinburgh, just be careful. Do your drinking after the show.
After the show, yeah. Listen, I sweat so much in that show. I can afford to have the odd beer or two afterwards. But I'm looking forward to going back, because I did do a couple of shows in London last year in Peckham at a small little venue, and it sold out really quickly, and it was really fun. And it was a really nice mix of expats and internationals, which is what's great about the show. Is this kind of specific South African references that the expats will get, but it also appeals to a larger global audience. So there's a really nice mix of people, and I guess I'm trying to hedge my bets, is like get the South African community to support, so that I feel like I'm at home and I'm being held, and then hopefully it can also infiltrate into the international market a little bit,
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing about the English language, and I'm happy that South Africans actually do speak it. Now, the Oorsee name is Afrikaans, but a lot of thought went into that, because Oorsee is such a global, such a South African word. Even the English-speaking South Africans know what it means. So every so often I'll get someone that say, but hey, you speak in English in most of your interviews. Why is you calling it Oorsee? Mate, sorry, daar gaan ek Aussie. Just chill. Take a chill pill. South Africa is more than Afrikaans. South African, there's so many different cultures in South Africa. We need to cater for everyone. And I do love...
Yeah, and we are melting pot. And it's the thing about language in South Africa as well, is we appropriate each other's language all the time, you know? It's like, so Oorsee is, as you say, is a word that everyone in South Africa can understand and appreciate and
absolutely
resonate.
I mean, look at that. You know what yeah. So look, yeah, I love Afrikaans, and I would keep fighting to the death for Afrikaans traditions, and because I grew up Afrikaans. I grew up in between the Namastebae and the Karoo, but I'm not oblivious to the fact that in order for Afrikaans to keep existing, it's going to have to shake hands with other languages. And therefore, I do put a lot of effort in making English videos, seeking out the English-speaking South Africans, the comedians, the musicians, and the rugby players. I've had the privilege of speaking with so many people. If you go scroll down my channel, you'll see those interviews there. And each one of them contributes to the image of South Africa outside of its borders, and just by looking
and
at
also
it's
so interesting how language operates, like particularly in the Springbok team, you know, that everyone's speaking their own language,
exactly.
but everyone understands each other, and they've got a shorthand, and but like, as you say, with Afrikaans by its nature is an incredibly progressive language. You know, it always has been. It's always been evolving, and it continues to do so, which is why I think it's such a strong language and such a strong part of South African culture. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Hold on for a second there, Rob Van Vuuren. That's a very Afrikaans name as well. Have you tried
doing... It's eintlik Jansen van Vuuren, Steve. Jansen van Vuuren. Maar ek is glad nie Afrikaans eerste taal.
One of my best friends here in Australia is Jacques van Vuuren, and he's Afrikaans. But have you tried swinging your act over to a bit of Afrikaans? Namaste, Baba. That doesn't work.
Namaste, oh.
Namaste.
Namaste, bra.
Ja. Kom ons gaan duik so 'n bietjie kreef, hoor. Ek sê nou vir jou, ek wil hier tussen die bamboes net wegraak.
Dude, when I come to Australia, we're doing a double act.
No.
I'll do NamasteBae in Engels, and you'll be my Afrikaans interpreter.
Oh man, no, I can't. You're gonna have to put some of the Edinburgh beer inside me to get me on stage. Tell me,
it's a deal.
I've got a question, and this is it's probably not even totally related, pretty selfish for myself, but I'm from Cape Town, and I'm quite familiar with Pringle Bay, Cool Bay, and those places. When you shoot these videos, where are you sort of located? Which beach area?
So I live in Fishhook. So it's pretty much it's like I'm right across the road from the beach. So I just walk across on the little pathway, take my kakoi and my kombucha bottle, and I keep the stuff
I
there.
used to be in Swanswyk in school. I lived in Fishhook. Where middle school is. Where middle school is. You see, so there's a roundabout right opposite middle school, yeah? So there's like a little street there. My house was the second one from the corner.
No ways. Yeah. No ways. Yeah, so I'm diagonally opposite the entrance to the beach.
You've got a sweet spot. Now you're right.
Yeah, it's like
I used to snorkel. I used to snorkel there quite a bit, and then one day.
Where you snorkeled in the kelp along the pathway,
along the rocks. But then that old lady got eaten there.
That's exactly where I shoot the stuff. That's the Penguin Cave of Desire.
Oh man, what a small world.
Kelly's tidal pool is there, and there's beautiful kelp forests that you can go diving and snorkeling in there, quite close to the shore.
Look, everywhere, Fishhook all the way around Simonstown. It's beautiful area. I mean, look, I'm sitting here in the ice cold of Melbourne. Melbourne is pretty cold at the moment. We've got winds and rains and everything happening outside these blinds. But when things get like this, I often reminisce about my time in Fishhook and all those places. And Yeah, especially on the other side of the of Kalk Bay, when I lived in Strand, when we were close to Pringle Bay and Goulby and Betty's Bay, those places are also so beautiful. I mean, I had my honeymoon in Pringle Bay, and my wife and I just spoke about it a week ago. We miss it so much. So you're quite fortunate to still be there.
I had such a great show at Huncliffe Hotel
yes.
just after New Year's. Yeah, it was such a joy. Such a joy.
We had Karen Zoid here a couple of months back. Her and Nathaniel, they came together as an act, and I went to go pick. I had to go pick Nathaniel up at the airport, and then when I dropped him off at the show, I took Karen's son and the guitarist out for lunch, because they just landed from Brisbane. They were obviously hungry and all of that. So we went out for lunch, and we just had a great chat just about Cape Town and everywhere. And she mentioned that she's doing the Huncliffe show, which was supposedly recently. Yeah. Now we used to have
Arno mentioned Huncliffe Hotel to me. He was like, he'd done it just a couple of weeks before that. And he was like, "Oh, you've got to do this gig." And of course, he's the one who said, "I must chat to you." So thanks, Arno.
I spoke to Arno right after he had his Oorsee, it's Hoe Gaan Dit single released, and I haven't heard an Afrikaans track of him in ages, and I was like, oh wow. So long story short, Jewel's fantastic Pierre Greep, he actually sent me the song. He's like, listen to this, he sings Oorsee. I'm like, what are you going on about? So I listened to the song. I'm like, this is like Oorsee theme song, you know?
Exactly. And I remember when he was busy recording, because we hang out a lot together. We go for runs here up and down Bishop. And he was playing it to me, and he was talking about this concept of Oorsee and your friends that are kind of over this divide, and you connect with each other. So it makes total sense.
Yeah, no.
And funny you speak of Karen. Arno and I were chatting about it the other day. I lived with Karen for a short period of time. Back in like early 2000s. When she was living in Linden, she was still undiscovered, but she was on the verge. I was like a young actor. My girlfriend at the time was an old friend of hers, and it was in the bitter cold of a Joburg winter, and like meeting her and listening to her jam in her lounge and going, this chick she's got something, man. She's got something, and here we are, like nearly 30 years later,
talking about it. Yeah, no, she's pretty cool. We had some good chats, and she even did a shout out for Oorsee on stage. I'm expecting the same from you when you're in London doing your show. It is a deal. You tell all those expats there, they better be on the Oorsee app. Honestly, they're missing out. They're missing out on such a great community. Prizes to be won. Anyways, this is not a Oorsee ad. This is about you, Rob.
But now, we're gonna do like some ticket giveaways or some prizes for the show through the app. So I'm gonna push them there, pal.
Please do. I just got. I don't know. You know Kevin Fraser? He lives here in Gold Coast. We chat on a daily basis. He's currently doing London, and he's given me 10 tickets to give away. I've given away 2 sets already to one person, actually. So I was planning on giving away another 2 tonight before his show 2 days from now. But you need to actually get in contact with him and just find out the lay of the land. He's a really nice guy, really receptive to help give advice and all of that. And he was pretty much my first celeb interview. I mean, I think I had about 1,000 subscribers on the channel back then. I sent him a text, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go." So
amazing.
No,
that's so cool. I'm definitely gonna get hold of him when I come that side.
No,
and it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
I mean, you know what I would like to see? You, him, Skulk Poseidon. Yeah.
Skulk's just been there. Did you catch him?
Yes, I interviewed him. He's about, if you go on my channel, he's about 2 or 3 interviews down. But so here's the thing. I actually went to go pick up Spoegwolf from the airport. So we did a bit of a carpool karaoke thing, and I interviewed them while driving to their lodging. And I went to the show the night with my wife, and then Skulk was there playing the harmonica. And I was like, wow, this guy's just multi-talented. Now, everyone that I know in Melbourne has been nagging me to speak to Skulk because he's such a regular visitor. So he came off stage and he went through the crowds, and I cornered him. I said, listen, Steven from Oorsee, I work closely with SA Events. He knew who I was, fortunately, and we scheduled a time. And 2 days later, we did an interview. We were also very rushed because he was in the middle of the comedy festival. But I really got to know him a bit better. And I reckon him with a couple of you guys would be a really good, even sold out show in Australia, New Zealand, and those places. I mean, it's similar to what Arnu and Ross and Art are planning doing. Yeah. So just for the viewers, just for the viewers, Art Matthews from Just Ginger, obviously Ross from Prime Circle, and Arnu Carstens are looking at touring Australia and New Zealand a bit as a trio. And just keep
they're doing some shows in London,
and
around about the same time I'm there as well.
Yes, I understand.
Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah. So they're doing obviously Europe and London first, and then they are switching their sights on down under.
I've got to plan my trip to Oz when they're doing their trip to Oz. Then we get Sculpt to come in as well, and Kevin. It'll be crazy. It'll be mad.
Well, I've got your number. I'll flip it over to Kevin, and let's see what he says. Yeah. Now, as an exit, we spoke earlier about this. You don't quite have any dates yet for London, do you? Is it not confirmed yet?
Yes, it's from the 22nd of June to the 28th. So it's that last week of June at the Bite Size Festival at Riverside Studios in London. I'm actually doing 2 shows. I'm doing NamasteBae, I think 7 performances of that. And then I'm doing this play, like a short play, only 5 performances, called Dangled, which is an adaptation of Nikolai Gogol's Diary of a Madman, which South African playwright Louis Viljoen adapted. And it's won a bunch of awards in South Africa and in the UK at the Brighton Fringe. And that's being resurrected as well. So I'm doing that on the side. That's a super dark, intense. It's got comedic elements to it, but it's like super dark, guys. I'm warning you. Only come to that show if you're ready for it. But it's really, really good.
Leave the babies at home. Leave the babies at home. And
no kids. Absolutely no kids for that show. Also, NamasteBae, 13, 14 plus.
Yeah, so he's losing his shirt in NamasteBae. He might lose more than that when he goes dark.
And I'm losing my mind in Dangled. So you choose which one you want.
Yes, because something is going to be dangling. I'll stop.
It's not like that. Nothing dangles.
No. Oh, so yeah. Anyway,
but check out all the info will be on my Instagram feed and my TikTok. Please support. Please. I'm desperately want to come and tour internationally more. And for a South African artist, the expat community is really that kind of anchor that makes it possible. So
yeah.
I love you guys.
Without any of our users, we'd be nothing. I mean, the app will not be performing. Rob's channel will not be as big as it is. And I feel after everything that's happened to this world, after COVID and everything that's currently happening in it, it's sometimes worth it to just escape, even if it's through an act, to be someone else than yourself. And if you don't have the courage to do it, which I certainly don't, it's very entertaining watching someone else do it. Kom kyk 'n bietjie hoe maak Rob 'n gat vir homself. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And as from Oorsee, we'll support you as much as we can. And honestly, it's been a real pleasure, and it was a real fun interview.
Steve, I love you, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys. Come see the show. I'll see you guys there.
See you there. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.